Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewart is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to accuse you of management.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now, here are your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Brock and Salk Show. Seattle Sports on 710. SeattleSports.com, Seattle Sports app, podcast platforms, YouTube, 97.3 HD2. All of the best, all of the rest, wherever you find us, thank you for doing that. I don't even know what that means, but I'm kind of pumped up this morning. Went to the games yesterday, spent the day in Soto with Stacey Rost. I definitely recommend spending a baseball game with Stacey if you get a chance. Blast, hilarious, smart, interesting questions and thoughts, and super fun. So I'm already looking forward to bumping Stacey a little bit later today. We'll have Mike McDonald for you guys at 9:30. Obviously, plenty to get to with the Seahawks and the way that game went down yesterday. The takeaways at 8:30 should be fascinating. Brock and I think, see the game a little bit differently. There's a real case to be made in that game that the emergence we're seeing of Sam Darnold as one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL is legitimate. And what he did yesterday was awesome. He kept his team in the game when the defense had nothing. And yeah, whether Brock likes it or not, and he's not going to like the take, I got to be consistent to something I've said for the 17 years I've been on the air in Seattle, which is what you do in the final moments of the game on the final drive as a quarterback. It supersedes everything else. You can have a bad game, but if you come up big on the final drive, you get the win. And yeah, you can throw for 350, but if you throw a pick on the final drive, that loss is, for me, quite a bit on you. So we'll discuss, and I'm not mad at Sam. He played an unbelievable game yesterday, but you can't throw a pick in that spot. You just can't. I don't want to start there, though. That's sort of a little prelude to what we'll talk about throughout much of the day, and that is the weekend that was for these Mariners. I love the baseball conversations that exist in and around these two games. I'm really glad I had the opportunity to get down there yesterday. I wanted to go to both games, couldn't do it because of Cecily's hockey game on Saturday. And so my Saturday night experience was like watching in a random pizza place in Kirkland, which was strange, but it was cool. Like, I enjoyed it, had a great time. I didn't get to feel the electricity that was there on Saturday. My understanding from people I talked to yesterday is that it was truly a cool environment. The crowd was going crazy on every pitch, especially early, and then again late, and just it was just awesome. I'm sorry I missed it. What I saw yesterday was also incredibly cool, though, and what I liked about it was that the crowd, kind of like the players, had to be a little bit resilient. The Mariners had lost on Saturday night, frustrating loss for a lot of different reasons. We'll discuss them. The Mariners the Seahawks, and I was, we're down there early, walking, and you could just feel the excitement. It was just a different energy in Soto all day yesterday, and you could feel it. I mean, it was palpable. And then the Seahawks find a way to lose a game that, honestly, when they got that kickoff with a minute left, I thought they were going to win the game. Like, to me, that's in the bag. You got a minute, all you need is a field goal. It's tied. You win. You should win that game 9 times out of 10. And instead, obviously, they blow the game. And so, the crowd last night kind of shows up like, man, I really hope the Mariners don't lose this game. I really hope that they're able to salvage what was about to be like the worst weekend in Seattle sports history, coming into what could have been the greatest of all time. And so the crowd had to be a little resilient. The crowd had to kind of get itself back into it. Like, hey, I paid good money to show up at this playoff game. Let's go. Let's do what we can. And I thought they did a magnificent job of it. And the players, no surprise, were incredibly resilient. And that's been who they are, right? I mean, that has been the story of this team. Everywhere I went yesterday, I spent time in the press box, time walking around, talking to friends, talking to people in the business, talking to people in the, everyone. Talking to people who work for the Mariners. What do you think happens today, Mike? Like, man, how the heck do I know? But this fear of Tarek Skubal, like, I'm sorry, Lyle, I was never buying it last week, and I'm not buying it today. Is he a really good pitcher? Absolutely. Is he the best in the league? You can sure make a case for it. Mariners have now beaten him 3 times this year. They've beaten him through all 3 times they faced him. He doesn't look comfortable against them for whatever reason. I'm not saying he wasn't good yesterday. He was very good yesterday. But he wasn't Sandy Koufax. He wasn't Pedro against Cleveland in 99. There's a little element, of Clayton Kershaw in there. Just every time he faces the Mariners, and you saw it a little bit yesterday, he's dominant except when he's not. And I thought, as I was driving home Saturday night, I was listening to I guess at that point, it's not even the post-game show yet. It's like the pre-post. But listening to Goldsmith, and I thought he made a great point of like, hey, he's got an ERA. It's not 0. He's given up earned runs this year, and the Mariners have gotten to him for whatever reason. They've kind of had his number as much as anyone has. And so I give them enormous credit. You're battling throughout that game against him, Polanco with the home runs, obviously, Julio, and I'm going to spend some significant time on Julio today. That's my favorite moment of Julio's career. That was my favorite moment of this season. And it's really, I don't know if I could say it's not close. There are some really great Cal moments. And, there have been so many good moments in a season like this. But I think when you are in this business, there is an element of rooting for stories and sometimes for people. I really like Julio. I don't know what to tell you. Through the ups and the downs, I just really like the guy.
I think it's hard for anyone to say they dislike him.
Absolutely.
I think there's fans that got frustrated along the way, but how do you dislike Julio?
I don't know. How do you? What's going on our YouTube there? What was that?
Yeah, that is interesting.
That's
I'm going to check into that.
That's quite a shot.
Every time I talk, there's video playing from our news station, I think.
All right, well, we'll work on that. We'll figure that out today. We got to be at our best. I love Julio. I really do. I'm fascinated by him and all of the times, all of the opportunities he's had to come up big. And there have been it feels like a million of them. He was their best player on Saturday, and he was the guy with the biggest hit yesterday. You got to see sort of the whole Julio experience. Best player on the field on Saturday night, just showing off his talent. But what he did yesterday was just so cool.
And the 1-0 pitch, swinging a line drive, left field line, fair ball, into the corner. Cal Ronnie third being waved in. He's bringing home the mail. Julio in at second with an RBI double, and the Mariners have the lead, 3-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Julio pumping his fist out at second base. The RBI double. Back-to-back doubles by Cal and Julio. And the Mariners have the lead. And listen to this crowd here at T-Mobile Park.
It felt in that stadium for me, and I don't know whether Julio felt this way or not. I mean, that's a guy who smiles through just about everything, deals with ups and downs as well as anybody does. It felt like a release of years of emotion for Julio. He just wants so badly to be that guy in that spot, right? How many times have you seen him overswing, overtry, just get himself out in these enormous situations throughout the last few regular seasons? And yeah, I remember it in that postseason as well, in the 18-inning game against Houston. It really felt like Julio just wanted to be the guy. I get it. He's sort of the anointed one. He's more talented than anybody else out there. He's the most talented guy on that field, and he wants it so badly. And I do believe that at times that's cost him. Not yesterday. And just to see the explosion of that positive emotion from him on second base, as my favorite moment of the year. I thought it was just awesome, just great. Just a huge congrats to him. So a lot of the day will be spent on Julio. A lot of the day will be spent on Cal, who's also been heroic through these first 2 games. No home runs, and yet he's done everything. My God, Cal Raleigh made what I think might be the defensive play of the year on Saturday night. Did you happen to catch? I have it in my takeaways, but I'll give you a little preview. Did you see the play in the 11th inning? So first, Vargas throws the wild pitch. Next pitch, or a couple pitches after that, he pulled an 100-mile-an-hour fastball that he held on to for too long. Cal had to reach his left arm all the way to his right ankle, which was extended because he had the leg out, and caught an 100-mile-an-hour fastball at his right ankle after he had set up inside. I cannot believe he accomplished that feat. Superhuman. So what he does in terms of value, I just think is continued to be on display just constantly. I know the voting is in and the MVP race is done, but my gosh, does Cal just ever show it over and over and over again? And yeah, we'll talk about the two decisions, the 2 fifth innings, one that was played by the book and one that was not. And obviously that has a major effect on how those two games went. Which one was won, which one was lost. If you are a fan of the gut, this was not a good weekend for you. If you are a fan of using the numbers, I would say this absolutely backs up what you've got to say. So we'll do that at 7:30. It's a good baseball discussion. There's a tremendous amount to celebrate today and some real frustration as well. It's all going to come together throughout the show. Mike McDonald at 9:30. It's Brock and Salk. Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. He's Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show